What a crazy last 24 hours it has been. Right now I'm going to give you an update on potential civil war in Russia and Prigozhin's. At the same time, Moscow has been once again under the attack, key city in the south is now finally liberated and Russians voluntarily surrender. But more about all of this in just a couple of minutes. What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude. З Днем Незалежності Україна, Happy Independence Day Ukraine. And today, let's get straight to the point and allow me to give you an update on Prigozhin's. So, as of information I have right now, Prigozhin is with 99.999% certainty. And besides him, on this plane there is also Dmitry Utkin, the commander of Wagner, and also Valery Chikalov, a guy responsible for security in Wagner as well. The full list of 10 passengers of this plane can be seen to my left. Prigozhin's plane in Tver region, approximately only 50 kilometers away from the Putin's residency in Valdai, once again confirming that how much just Putin loves this symbolism. And if you remember, there was actually a second Prigozhin's plane which successfully landed in Moscow. Well, long story short, all the passengers of that plane, all of them they were detained. And as of right now, we have two main versions why Prigozhin's first plane. The first one is that it was intercepted by a Russian air defense system. And the second most popular option is that there was an inside the plane itself. The first version that the plane was intercepted, in fact, it is now even confirmed looks like by the CIA. Because if you remember from my previous breaking news episode, we were able to see these small holes on the parts of the plane which are very typical for air defense missiles. And according to the second most popular version, that there was a from the inside. Allegedly, right before Prigozhin's plane took off, somebody said, wait, here's a box of expensive wine, it's a gift for somebody in St. Petersburg, just please take it with you. So I mean, yes, it does sound a lot like suspicious, but apparently at that time nobody, I guess, took it into consideration. And by the way, I do have much more photos and videos of Prigozhin's my Patreon. YouTube simply will not allow such stuff on their platform. That is why if you want to see this uncensored footage, it is on my Patreon, the link is down below. There's still 1 week of free access. And so yes, back to Prigozhin. In St. Petersburg, in the headquarters of Wagner, they lit the cross on these windows of their main building. And reportedly, until the very late night, the highest remaining military commandment of Wagner, they had an urgent meeting, deciding pretty much what to do next. And allegedly, according to some sources from the inside of the Wagner, they always had, since the beginning, a brief plan of action in case Prigozhin. So it will be very curious to see what they decide. We then even have this alleged video from Wagner soldiers who are saying that that's it, that's enough for us, we are starting to go, please expect us. I mean, they did not say please. It is just me being polite. And even some sources from Belarus, they say, besides something which I already mentioned in my previous episode, that there is a plane who picked up Wagner soldiers and reportedly brought them back to Russia. Some other remaining Wagner soldiers, they started allegedly moving closer to the territory of Russia. At this very moment it is not yet clear what is exactly going to happen, but I don't think that Wagner will leave this event without any response. Maybe there is going to be a huge escalation within Russia itself. I will be here to try and make a report as soon as possible if something happens. If you don't want to miss it, just please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And now speaking about Russia itself, specifically its capital Moscow, Putin returned urgently from his trip in Kursk, and the convoy of his cars, they rushed into Kremlin, as you can see from this video. And all the police, the National Guard and FSB, both in Rostov and in Belgorod, they were called to take their positions. And well, apparently it was not enough for Putin, because even some nuclear weapons on their machines were spotted driving around Moscow. A lot of this news I'm talking about right now came from Russian sources, including the ones which are hard to access if you're outside of the country. For this reason, in order to get the freshest news possible from both sides of the story, I had to use a VPN. But why do I even need a VPN? Because without one, browsing the internet is just like accidentally putting a private message in the group chat. And now everyone knows that you're actually a big fan of ridiculous Russian propaganda. What a shame. Well, too late now, because all your uncles and aunts already shared this incredibly bad news on their Facebooks. And if you want to avoid getting bamboozled, this is where Private Internet Access VPN, the sponsor of today's video, comes in very handy. The first and the biggest benefit of a VPN is that it hides your IP address, protects your personal data, and shields your information from unwanted eyes. And the second benefit, to be honest my personal favorite, is that it unlocks a geographically restricted content, such as, for example, movies and TV shows on your favorite streaming platforms, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, and so on, and also some games and other sporting events which are otherwise subject to blackout restrictions. And let me show you how it works, but pay attention, because it will be extremely quick. Let's say so, I'm in the US and I want to watch my most favorite TV show of all time, The Office, but as you can see, it is not available here. And all I need to do is to switch my location using Private Internet Access VPN to, for example, Brazil, wait for it to be connected, then I just go back to Netflix, refresh the page, and here you go, I can start watching The Office right away. And here comes the best part. With just one subscription, you'll be access Private Internet Access VPN across unlimited devices. And so, if you want to have all of these amazing features that PIA VPN has to offer, please make sure to use my link down below, which is piavpn.com/Russian dude. And as a viewer of this channel, you'll be getting an extremely good offer, which is 83% discount and 4 months for free. And don't worry, if you are still not satisfied, there is a 30 days money-back guarantee. Once again, it's piavpn.com/Russian dude, and if you go ahead and use this link, this is one of the best ways to support the channel. Thank you so much, Private Internet Access VPN, for sponsoring this video, and now back to the program. And so yes, now let's get back to Moscow, because recently the capital of Russia once again was under attack of several drones. And if you take a look at this calendar to my left side, you can see that the number of attacks by such drones increased dramatically in this month alone, including the ones which are successful, which are these circles which are filled with color. And just when you thought that the things within Russia are already bad enough, well, apparently some Russian soldiers started to voluntarily surrender and bring extremely expensive military vehicles to Ukrainians. And specifically what I'm referring to is that recently it became known that one Russian soldier, along with his 2 comrades, he brought Mi-8 helicopter to the hands of Ukrainians, surrendered, and even reportedly 2 of his comrades, they did not know what is happening. That is why allegedly Ukrainians had to. And there were also this guy who brought the helicopter, he was promised safety to him and to his family. Reportedly, according to the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine, this entire operation was planned and executed throughout the terms of 6 months. And just for reference purposes, it was acknowledged by Ukrainians that in case Russians they do surrender something expensive as a helicopter, besides granting them protection from Russia, they will be also awarded $500,000. And so, okay, now let me give you an extremely quick update from the east, and then we'll go to the south, where a key city has been just recently liberated. And first of all, according to the report by the Institute for the Study of War, there are still combat activities along Kupiansk-Svatove-Kreminna front line, with neither of the sides achieving any confirmed success. Next we go to Sumy region, where unfortunately another residential building has been targeted by Russians. And yet another residential infrastructure has been targeted in Limansk-Donetsk region, as you can see from this picture. And speaking about Bakhmut, Ukrainians, once again using extremely cheap drone, were able to destroy a Russian self-propelled artillery system called Tulipan, located in the south of this city. And as a result of combat activities, Ukrainians were able to retake a significant portion of land next to Klishchiivka. Next we have one more picture from the eastern front lines, where a pretty rare Russian armored personnel carrier called Ural has been destroyed. But wait, there is more, because yet another armored transporter of Russia's BDM-40 with the active protection I-11 has also been destroyed by a Ukrainian cheap drone. And as we move all the way down to Donetsk, as you can see from this video, some local residents reported some very loud noises. And now, as promised, let's go quickly to the south of Ukraine. And first of all, a Russian air defense system S-400 has been successfully destroyed by Ukrainians on Crimean Peninsula next to Olenivka settlement. As we move back to Kherson region, unfortunately yet another civilian infrastructure has been targeted by Russians in Kherson city. And well, there has been yet another attack against grain ports in Odessa. And just in general, Ukrainians were able to intercept 11 out of 20 Shahed drones launched by Russians. Now let's get back to combat activities in the south. And first of all, Ukrainians reportedly destroyed a big mortar firing position of Russians located in Oleshki. And then, as we once again refer to the report by the Institute for the Study of War, Ukrainians are having pretty good success next to Robotyny region, at the same time also in between Zaporozhye and Donetsk region, and also in western Donetsk region. And Russians also reportedly, they started bringing reinforcements to the south of Orikhiv, probably trying to resist and repel the attacks of Ukrainians. But as for now, as you can see from this map, Ukrainians continued their advancement towards Robotyny and liberated even more territory closer to this settlement. And we even have this video from the inside of Robotyny itself, where Ukrainians are installing their flags to the allegedly remains of the city administration building, which pretty much means that now city is officially liberated. But unfortunately, as you can see, just like with any other city which has been under the occupation by Russians, despite whatever they were saying that they're trying to liberate Ukrainians, Robotyny right now unfortunately is almost complete ruins. But just once again, Ukrainians are not planning to rest and they continue pressure against Russians, with their next key city in the south being Novoprokopivka, and as soon as this one is liberated, they will lay their eyes on the grand prize, the city called Tokmak. And since right now there's a lot of instability within Russia, mainly connected to the of Prigozhin, most likely Russians will not be as concentrated on defenses as they used to be, potentially meaning that Ukrainians will have a significant success by the end of this week or in the next several days. And once again, in case this happens, probably things will start to happen extremely fast, so if you don't want to miss them, just please consider subscribing to my channel. It only takes one click. Thank you so much once again, Private Internet Access VPN, for sponsoring this video. All the uncensored footage you can find on my Patreon, and all the other useful links can be found down below. Thank you so much for your attention, товарищи. Please follow me on Instagram, beware there are scammers in the comments, and see you tomorrow.